I would start with little experiments that you could get her into where she could start learning new tastes. She's doing something experiential. It's not eat this, eat the protein, don't have that. No, you can't have the cookie. It's like we're actually creating an experience for her to invite her into the joy of what it can be like to transform the way foods taste. I would gather a bunch of like plums or strawberries or raspberries or something that's wet but fibrous. And I'd say, hey, you don't like the wet in the fruit, right? Then I would say, I'm going to taste it and I'm going to see how wet it is. Like, how wet would you say this is 1 to 10? Let's see if we can taste each thing and give it a number of wet. Now, I'm doing that because if I tell her, take a bite, I'm engaging in a power struggle. But if I tell her we hate this, let's see how much we hate this, take a bite, I've now gotten her to take a bite without focusing on the take a bite. It's like you're trying to get a kid to do a chore instead of saying like, hey, sweep this room, be sweeping the room and go, hey, can you hold the broom for a second? I have to pee. Like, I just got you to hold the broom for a second. So I would be like, let's taste it. Let's mark down on a piece of paper how wet and mushy each one of these is. Oh my God, this one's like a 9, right? Oh my God, tell me what you think this is. Ah! And then you say, don't eat it. Just take a little bite, just enough to know how wet it is. So she feels safe. Again, you're communicating safety to her brain. You're not saying, I'm going to drag you over the line. I'm saying, here's a line. Don't cross it. Feel what happens when you cross the line. Then you're going to say to her brain, okay, I found out there's a really cool chemical experiment we can do that will literally take the water out of this. So it won't be wet anymore, but it'll still have taste and it tastes like a candy. Never mind. I'm not going to do this with you. This is what we were talking about before about like a person has to want to learn, right? So you have to stoke the willingness. And then what you do is you say, okay, no, seriously, you want me to do it? Okay. But you will have to be a chemist. I'm going to have to give you a special apron or a special hat or whatever. I'm going to put you in the kitchen. We're going to put it in the oven. We're going to put it at 140 or 150, however low your oven will go. And then you create dried fruit, dried leather. So you just take the fruit and you could put the fruit in the Vitamix and you could punish the fruit for being wet. So let's put this, you know what we're going to do to you because you're not sweet enough? We're going to put a tiny bit of honey inside you, make you like candy. And you know what? You're too wet. We're going to Vitamix you. And you do that and then you pour it out onto, you know, a wax paper or better yet, these like flex sheets that would make really great substrates for dried fruit. And then you just put it in your oven for like anywhere from 4 to 8 hours, depending on your temperature. You check it all the time and then you taste it. Really easy way to do this, by the way, you take strawberries, you slice them on a mandolin, right? Or just really, really slice strawberries and just lay them out on a flex sheet. Again, few hours, and it's an entirely different thing. It's like a totally dry candy. It's delicious. Okay. And if she's like, I'm not doing this, I'm not eating it at the end, you go, great, don't eat it. More candy for me, right? You figure out what you need to say to provoke that strong will to go with you.